Halt! Who goes there? And who are you?
I am Jason Ramuel, diplomat of the commune. I have urgent news for the king.
Show us your identification and we'll let you through.
Well, can you believe this, Connor? He's actually got a reason for wanting to see the king. We don't see many folks around these parts. Most of them are just peasants begging for change from our king. I suppose I can let you in. Hold still.
You're free to go in.
Boyan, Henry, follow me. I have pertinent information.
You're not usually this urgent. Is everything alright?
It's John. I found him dead 5 kilometers to the south.
What killed him? And what became of his armband?
VSD shot to the head. His clothes and his armband were ruined. Stripped off him, found his corpse decaying on the grass. His armband. Equally tattered. The paper that identifies him was torn, but his name on it was intact.
Who killed him? I couldn't imagine any of us would even entertain that. Nor would the commerce. Not even the coalition would.
I don't know. To be honest, it must have been a while before I found him. His flesh was already birthing maggots.
Pipe down. We don't need anybody knowing about this right now. You already have enough issues with the other kingdoms and don't need our people causing more.
Okay, well, I found him on Hell's Trail, which we all know is a hotspot for the Southern Raiders and the Kingdom of Morley. We already have good relations with the Coalition and the Kingdom of Morley. I did see a different set of footprints walking away from John, though. It seemed like whoever killed him talked to him first. His clothes were also splayed out on the ground like they were thrown. So John is approached, held at gunpoint, has all of his belongings discarded, and is indignantly cold like a dog. If someone from Morley or the Coalition wanted John dead, they'd just post a sniper a few hundred meters away.
Huh. So it was a raider. But who'd be so brutal to do that to our head diplomat?
Probably Slab or Luis. You know they get their kicks from being scum. It could also be that fucking coward, Yori.
I'm inclined to agree. No foot soldier would do that.
My advisors, what seems to be the purpose of this intrusion?
My king, John is dead. Jason found him executed in the forest to the south, and we may know who did this.
We think it could be Louise, Yori, or Slab, my king.
If it is true that the raiders attacked and butchered one of our diplomats, then I find it imperative that we talk with the Northern Commerce about this, as they are our only trusted ally.
We ought to make these transgressions known to the other kingdoms as well. As the Northern Commerce has helped us in our times of dire need, though, I wholly agree with your current initiative.
Okay. I shall send a radio transmission to the Northern Commerce and let them know of the situation. I will be communicating with Crow, King of the Northern Commerce, post haste concerning this. King Crow? King Crow, do you copy?
King George? I presume that this matter couldn't wait for the diplomats. Regardless, how have you been?
Therein lies the issue. My scout has presented me with grave news of my diplomat, John. He was butchered. I know my people will seek retribution once they've been made aware.
I'm sorry about John. Insofar as I knew him, he was an honorable man. Where do I come into this equation, George?
Well, I think it would be foolish to allow my people to succumb to their bloodlust. So for now, I would like to arrange a summit here.
George, you ought to know that my hands are bound for this royal duties here. I can send you my head diplomat to come to this meeting instead. I must be going now, George. I'll be sure to send him.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll keep in contact. Goodbye, Crow.
Goodbye, George.
Crow told me that he's sending his most decorated diplomat to discuss the matter.
You're kidding! You're not going to fight them after what they've done? Rally all the kingdoms against this mockery.
We already have more than enough to worry about. We'll see what possibilities my meeting will turn over and orchestrate from there. An empire collapsed the last time a king was too hasty in his decree. Poyon, you best not forget what came of the United Coalition. The people diverged because their hegemon was deemed a liar and a false judge.
A hasty king is more effective than a dull idler. Maybe, if we weren't twiddling our thumbs up our asses and snap back to reality, we could exact vengeance on the raiders for what they've done to us. Talk to me when you're done playing loosey-goosey with a bunch of murderers.
We will only fight if we have to. My heart goes to John, but I cannot discard my people like toy soldiers. We may entertain this campaign if we can get the aid of the other kingdoms. Jason, send word to the other kings.
I'll do it, my king. I'll go to the other kingdoms and request an audience with them. I, however, do not think that the Southern Raiders can go unpunished for their bastardry, even if the other kingdoms do not take up arms for our cause.
My king, as second inheritor of the throne and the executive of the military, I promise that I'll stand by you to the very end, and I hold that promise usque ad mortem. But my opinion, my king, is that we should not let this go lest we look weak and cowardly, which is not a good reputation to uphold. We must try to unite the kingdoms under a war pact and settle this awful tyranny in the south and purge their ranks.
Henry, are you willing to lead this war front? We have no allowance for blunders and need all expertise and strategy available to remedy this. The Raiders have a knack for pilfering heavily armored guns and bombs when we only have a very meager arsenal at our disposal. Every gun, every ration, every life must be preserved with the utmost attention. Do you accept this burden?
My king, I will fight to my last breath for the freedom that this outbreak has robbed from me. We all want peace, and I'd be willing to sacrifice my life for that. I have no doubt in my mind that all the men and women down there would too.
We'll wait till I receive word from the others. I will send Arthur, my right hand, to gather the troops after the summit and make my decision. Now, leave me be. Oh, man. If only I could have that beautiful sunset. Oh. Come on, George. Jesus, please help me. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna go lay down. Screw it. This could all lead to a bloodbath, to the annihilation of all of us, just for daring to resist a tyrant who doesn't know how to back down, and who will do anything in his power just to get his way. Many men will perish in this war. It will be ours, it will be yours, but it will also be theirs. From the power and the arsenal which they have secured, this would be more than a war. This will be fighting through hell. You have a choice here, gentlemen. You don't have to fight. However, if we fight now, we may be spared from the future strife. I see no alternative to declaring war on this tyranny. Not so that we may enact petty revenge, but rather to commerce and the better of all of us. Peace is my hope, gentlemen. Prepare for war, gentlemen. People of the commune, it is with grave heart that I must inform you, our friend and scout, John Malark, met an unfortunate end to a southern raider. We lack the ability to return his body due to the risk posed by arranging a convoy given the raiders' unethical treatment of non-combatants. All that is to say that we cannot give him a proper burial, so instead we will arrange a funerary service without the corpse. What we may offer instead is retribution. To show those raiders that we do not bow to their tyranny, that we do not fall into submission from their barbaric intimidation tactics, and that we will tolerate neither their lawlessness nor their disregard for the sanctity of human life. All those who want to avenge this slaughter, I beseech you to take up arms and join us into this fight against the southern raiders, lest we sink further into the recessness of this brutal reality. I understand that one does not lightly lay down their life for their kingdom, but we cannot entertain cowardice. We cannot let that menace of the southern raiders continue. I'm aware that it's a far shot, but I want, in fact, I insist upon peace for our prosperity. Not war, not suffering, not rage, but instead total respite from those ills. If you can offer your arms, your bravery, and your dedication to fight for the cause of the commune, then we will establish nascent Sigorian peace. When I was a boy, my father became keen to the dark plots of the Russians before they fully intact it. With it, then he managed to do it. He managed to topple their claim to domination, and I think we can too. We can overcome the southern raiders and what they have done to us for far too long. We finally have our impetus too. John dedicated his life to the commune. We cannot let his life be taken in vain. We can't sit by while his body rots. It would be the highest honor to him if we may fight for his spirit, to achieve what he would most hope for in all his short to life.
If I may speak, I'm willing to lay down my life for you, my king, and for John's post-mortal aspirations. He was my best friend when we were kids. I am willing to do that for him. My fellow countrymen, His Majesty has done all for us in times of need and sorrow. I'm willing to fight for him and John. Can't you say the same?
Long live the king, long live the commune, may God protect his spirit and grant us strength in our battles. Huzzah!